Want help to grow your business? Download Bryn, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit bryn.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello, I'm Wayne Berry and welcome to this episode of Top Gun Sales. I hope you're able to join me on some previous episodes. If not, please check it out, find when they're rescheduled and be sure that you do tune in. So in this particular episode, we're going to be looking about how to develop scripts and dialogues that will increase your sales. The question of scripts is kind of a controversial one, I think, amongst salespeople. So I guess a really good question to start with here is, are scripts a good idea or a bad idea? Well, it's kind of interesting. I tend to get a lot of what I call script excuses when I tend to suggest scripts to salespeople. You may not believe this, but here's the kind of things some salespeople actually say. They say, I don't like using scripts. Interesting. I prefer just to be myself, really. Yeah. Scripts really don't sound natural. Well, they're kind of interesting. Let me take these one at a time. I just don't like using scripts. Why is it a salesperson would say, I don't like using a script? If you think about it, a movie has a script which is carefully crafted, and really successful actors do use a script. Now, do they put their personality into it? Do they make it their own? Certainly they do, but they do use a script. You know, the most successful actors, when you think about it, are the actors who know how to follow the script and also stick to the direction being given by the director of the film. They get paid extraordinarily well to follow a script. They don't just kind of turn up and say, oh, look, I'm a kind of a free spirit, I think I'll just wing it today. No, they're professionals, they've studied the script, they've memorized the script. They turn up and they deliver it so darn well with feeling, if you like. In other words, they put their own personality into it, so much so that they're paid big bucks for that. Look, the same is true, I believe, in sales. The most successful salespeople understand that winging it is really not the way to create consistent results and high sales. Using a script that has been carefully crafted, carefully developed, and sticking to the script is the very best way, because after all, once you have a formula that's working, why would you change the formula? You know, once you've perfected the script, once you've said something in a perfect way, why would you want to change the script? Of course, put your own personality into it, but scripts are very, very effective for that reason. So, you know, if you find yourself saying, I don't like using scripts, recognize, well, let me put it this way. Salespeople who tell me I don't like using scripts, what they really are, frankly, is too lazy to bother memorizing a script. That's what it really comes down to. Too lazy to memorize and use a script. They prefer to wing it, and they're not doing too well, but they're prepared to just wing it. The next excuse, I prefer just to be myself. Now, I told a story in a previous episode. Possibly you've seen it. It bears repeating again. Maybe you haven't, and you're watching this in isolation, so let me just share this with you. I was working with a group of salespeople quite a number of years ago now, and a salesperson came up to me at a telephone prospecting workshop, and he said, this idea of a script, this telephone script, you think it'll really work for me? And I said, yes, absolutely, it will work if you follow the script. He said, well, I hope so, because I stand to lose my job by the end of the week if I don't turn things around, if I don't get some results. That's what I've come to the seminar here tonight for, and I've paid my own money to be here tonight, and I know you have a money-back guarantee, so if I take this away and it doesn't work, I can come back and I can get a refund from you. I said, absolutely, that's what it's all about. And the following morning, he phoned me. It was fairly late in the morning. I think it was about 10, maybe 10:30, even 11 o'clock he phoned, quite a few years ago now. And he said, hey, it's Brad here. I was there at your seminar last night. Do you remember me? Well, yeah, I could remember Brad. He was the only one who came up to me, so keen to really master the the script, the telephone script that I was sharing that evening. And he said, look, it's really not working, Wayne, so what do I need to do now to get my refund? You promised me a refund. I said, well, it's no problem at all. Happy to do a refund for you, but hey, you invested some time to be there. I just want to find out what's going on for you because, that particular script, we pretty much guarantee that if you follow the script, you make 10 calls, get 5 appointments. That's called a 50% conversion ratio, which is pretty darn good compared to what most salespeople get who just kind of wing it on the phone. And he said, no, look, it's just not working for me. And I said, well, look, let's just invest a little bit more time. Can I just, be your sales coach right now and ask you to role play it with me? Just explain to me what's happening. So he role played it with me and I listened carefully. And at the end I said, so Brad, what seminar did you attend last night? He said, what do you mean? I attended your seminar. I said, well, that's not the script I presented at the workshop last night. And he said to me, oh, Wayne, I don't feel comfortable with that script. I prefer to just be myself. So, Brad, I thought we had the conversation last night. How successful are you at the present time? He said, I'm not doing too well at all. I'm about to lose my job if I don't turn things around. And I said, Brad, I suggest don't be you any longer. This is not working for you. Stop being yourself. It's not working. For those people who say, oh, look, I just prefer to be myself, you've really got to ask the question, is it working? Are you successful just being yourself? Because the most successful salespeople that I have ever come across use ideas that were invented by other people. They perfect them, they improve them, they tweak them, but they don't just wing it. They don't just sort of go through life being themselves. They work out what's working, they adopt ideas, they adopt strategies, they adopt scripts, they make them their own, and they're no longer just being themselves. They are, in fact, a composite of many different people that they've worked with, people they've learned from, audio programs they've listened to, videos they've watched. They don't just continue to be themselves. And that was my advice to Brad. Just stop being yourself. It's not working. It's really not working out for you. Use the script. Well, I convinced him to go away. He stuck to the script. He role-played, he rehearsed it, stuck to the script, and he got a great result. And over the years, he became a very, very successful salesperson, and we kept in touch. I know because he in fact got promoted, and then he left that company, went to another company, became a sales manager. And he was an extraordinarily good sales manager. He did our sales management program at the time as well, and I got to help him train his salespeople over the years. And frequently we would have a conversation about that evening when he went to that workshop that kind of turned his life around, because he suddenly realized winging it and doing what felt natural and just being himself wasn't the best course of action. So I give that to you as an idea. If you find yourself saying, oh, look, I just prefer to be myself, well, just consider. I mean, if what you're doing is working perfectly well, then be yourself. Maybe you're doing a very, very good job. But if not, I suggest investigating scripts that are going to work for you. What scripts? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. There's many different scripts that you could perhaps be using at different parts of the sales process. So let's tackle this one. Scripts don't sound natural. I think I've probably covered that well enough here now. People who make scripts sound natural are paid a lot of money because they put their own personality into it. They don't change the words, by the way. If you change the words, you change the meaning, you change the outcome. But they do put their own personality into it. I mean, I'm using a script right now. You may not be able to see it. I'm not reading from an auto cue. The fact of the matter is I've presented this so many times before. The script is here, and I know the words to say that get the best possible result for you and help you to understand this. So if you ever wonder, how is it that a speaker can stand in front of an audience and deliver a presentation for 3 hours and not look at any notes? How can they do that for a day? Or in my case, how can I do that for a 4-day? I can present a 4-day workshop without referring to any notes. It's easy. I have practiced, drilled, rehearsed, and they're in here. And the way I deliver hopefully sounds very, very natural. And there's a real talent to be able to do that. But you know what? It's a matter of developing the skill. All skills can be developed. That's the magic thing about life. We can learn to become very, very good at anything. We can learn to deliver a script in such a way that it sounds so natural, so real. And that would be my advice on scripts and sounding natural. So what sort of scripts are useful to have? Well, in sales, there's many different parts of the sales process. And I think it's important to recognize that there is an optimum way of handling each part of the sales process. There is a perfect way of handling inquiries. for example. When a telephone inquiry comes through, there is an optimum way of handling a telephone inquiry. We've designed many programs for companies, and in this part of the world for companies like Foxtel, for example. When Foxtel first started in Australia, that's a paid television service for those of you who are not watching this in Australia. And when they first came into Australia, they came to us and they said, we're setting up a call centre for handling inquiries, and we would like you to develop a system for handling those incoming inquiries so we do well on the conversion. I did something similar for an organisation, again, you probably have heard of, particularly if you're in this part of the world, but I think they're international now, and that's Flight Centres, the travel company, Flight Centres. They again had the same situation. Wayne, we'd like to optimise the return on investment that we get when we advertise and people telephone or come into our flight centres and ask for advice around travel. Same thing with Foxtel. Same thing with Midas Mufflers, for example, and so many others that we've worked with. We worked out there's a system for handling inquiries. And what we did is we studied high achievers in the sales arena who were handling inquiries very well, and we came up with a set of what we now call performance standards. In other words, these are the standards. This is the way we do it here. Why? Because it works. Performance standards are the real secret for creating a business that continues to deliver consistently on the promise of quality. For example, McDonald's. McDonald's have performance standards. They have performance standards for everything. I don't know whether you've ever worked for McDonald's. My son has worked for McDonald's for 4 years now while he's been at university studying. And he's just graduated from university, and one of the very best things that he has done during that time at university is he has been working at McDonald's. And he tells me, and I knew before, but he tells me they have a performance standard for everything. They have a set procedure for doing everything. They have a set procedure for building a hamburger. They have a set procedure for getting the fries exactly right. They have a set procedure for handling a spill. You see, they don't leave it to chance. McDonald's realise that regardless of whether you're in Hong Kong, whether you're in Auckland, New Zealand, whether you're in Oslo, or whether you're in Vancouver, no matter where you are in the world, they want to deliver a consistently high quality service. So they have established performance standards. And this is exactly what we did in creating a procedure for handling incoming inquiries. I mean, you can't go along to McDonald's and say, listen, I'd like to work for McDonald's, but I'm kind of a free spirit, you know. I just want to sort of do it my way. They'll say, go work for, and I better not say their competitor's name, but you possibly know the one I mean. They also sell hamburgers, but their service and the quality of their product is nowhere near as good as McDonald's. Could you imagine how successful McDonald's would be if they had good food? Well, I guess that's another story, but at least you know there's consistency.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download Brin, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit Brin.ai or search the App Store today.